to week 6 of Lent. This is going to be the last week, and this will be the last project in your book. One of the things that our lovely presiding bishop recommends is finding a way to create your own rule of life. And that's going to be our mission this week. So in your bag, you have what looks like a super funky shaped book. It's got lots of different shapes put together. And we're going to use this to create our own rule of life, our own ideas for how we can show love to ourselves, we can show love to others, and we can show love to our community as a whole. So each one is a different shape to give you some inspiration. So the first one obviously is a body. And this is something that's very important, is how to show love to our own body. So I'm actually going to label it as my body. How can you show love to your body? Things that you talk about at school, right? You can eat the right foods. So I can eat, and I'm going to use my markers. You guys can use crayons, you can use pencils. I'm actually going to eat my vegetables. I'm going to give myself some broccoli right here. As unhappy as broccoli may make you, something you probably need to eat. I'm going to have some fruits on here. I'm going to eat healthy. Here's an apple. I don't like red apples, but I'm going to eat it because it's good for me. I'm going to eat healthy. Might not be things that you like, but they're things that'll keep you healthy. I'm going to fuel my body the right way. What else could I do to keep my body healthy and in its best form? Well, I suppose I could move. And that can mean a lot of things, right? That could mean exercise. That could mean yoga. That could mean going for a walk with dad after dinner. That could mean walking the dog. I'm gonna find some way to move. Maybe you'll be in, I'm gonna draw myself running. We'll see if that happens, but I'm happy I'm running. Finding a way to move, finding a way to keep yourself physical and doing something healthy for yourself. What else could I do? Oh, you know what I'm gonna do on these? I'm gonna actually go down and I'm gonna wash my hands. That's really important right now. I'm gonna wash my hands. Something else I could do for my body. I'm gonna write a word to myself, a note to myself. This is a really important one that I think sometimes, especially as we get older, we don't always do. Dress for the weather. I know, especially as you get close to middle school, you might want to wear shorts. Should you wear shorts in the middle of winter? Probably not. Should you wear flip-flops when there's 2 feet of snow? Probably not. What about if you're getting ready for school and mom said you need to put a hat on? Should you do it? Probably. I'm gonna dress for the weather. Just some quick notes to how I can keep my body in its best self. I'm gonna flip that body and I'm gonna look for my next one. Ooh, it's a brain. So this was about my outside, but this is about my mind. Oh, that's a whole nother category. So what can I do to keep my mind in its best shape, ready for me to be able to show others my best self, ready for me to be able to show myself my best self? You know what, the number one thing I think I want to do for my rule of life, for my mind, is I think I want to read more. The more I read, the stronger my mind gets. The more I read, the more I learn. The more I learn, the more I know. What else could I do to keep my mind strong? You know what? This is something that fits with our affirmations and that fits with our buckets. I think to really help my mind, I want to talk about how I feel. I want to be able to sit down in that hearing part of my love bucket, and I want to talk about how I feel. And I think with that, I want to learn about others. If I talk about how I feel, I should probably listen to how other people feel. And that's really good for my mind to understand how other people feel. Another thing I really want to do is I want to think back to my affirmations, and I want to believe in myself. I'm going to just give myself a note. I want to believe I can. Those affirmations should be right drilled into your mind. Believe that I can do it. So my mind. Oh, this is a good one. Obviously, we know what our next shape is, our cross. Our cross is going to be for our spirit. This is going to be really important over the next couple weeks because we are getting so close to Holy Week and we are getting so close to Easter. You could add Easter to your prayer flag. It's so close, it's in sight. What can I do for my spirit? What can you do for your prayer life to really connect? What's one thing you could do for your spirit? It could be praying every morning, praying before you go to bed. It could be trying something new. I think what I'm going to do, I think for my spirit, I want to pray before bed. And I think I'm finally going to listen to Brother James, and I'm going to be mindful. I think I want to do those two things as we get ready for the Easter season. He keeps telling me I should be mindful. I think I'm going to be mindful. That's going to be my plan for myself, is I'm going to pray before bed at night, and I'm going to be mindful and really take time to reflect and be calm and still, which is very hard. I know it's very hard. And I know as kids, you probably think I'm crazy for saying it because it is hard, but all of us could be more mindful and more still. The heart. When you see heart, you're gonna instantly think love, because every week we've talked about love. But this heart isn't for love. This heart is for relationships. Relationships can be a lot of things. Relationships can be with your mom and dad, brothers and sisters, grandmas and grandpas, teachers, counselors, coaches, friends, cousins, cats and dogs. Relationships can be a lot of things. I want you to take a little time and think about what are your most important relationships. If you wanted to show love, if you really wanted to live love, who is the person that you would most want to show it to? It could be mom. You really want mom to know how much you love her. It could be your sister. You've been fighting a lot and you really want your sister to know that you do love her, even if you argue. It could be a grandma or grandpa who might be feeling lonely. I know that's how I feel about my grandma. She's lonely with everything going on. I want her to know how much she's loved. It could be a family member you haven't seen. What if your favorite uncle lives all the way across the country and you haven't seen him? How could you show him love? This is a really personal one. I think for mine, I think I'm gonna choose my dad. And I want you to think about that person, and I want you to write their name on that heart, whoever that person is. So I'm gonna choose my dad. If it's mom, mom. If it's Susie Joe, write Susie Joe. If it's Uncle Tim, write Uncle Tim. If it's your cat, kittens, dog, anybody, I want you to write them on there. And I want you to think, what could I do to show them that I love them? We wrote that on our bucket. We wrote positive messages that we sent to DEO. We had to talk through a problem when we built our towers. How can you show that person that you love them? Okay, I think I would talk. I might send him pictures. I think what's super important is I think I'm going to pray for him, because it's always good to pray for the people you love. And I think I'm going to listen to him. He has a hard job, and I think it's important that I listen to him so that he knows that he's heard. Yours can look different than mine. Yours is the person that you want to show love to. If you really want to show love to your dog, daily walks, brushing them, treats, hugs. We have a cat from the Humane Society. I want her to know that she's loved and she's safe. Pets are important too. It could be a relationship. It could be calling grandma on the phone. It could be FaceTiming or Zooming with grandma and showing her all the cool things you learned at school. If you choose a brother or sister, it could be going one day without arguing, letting them have the front seat one time, or them have the remote control one time. Those are ways of showing love too. So for your relationship part, I want you to choose your person, and how are you going to show them that they're loved and they're valued in your life? My last one is a house. I want you to think back to 2 weeks ago. Who's our neighbor? Our neighbor can be the person next door. Our neighbor could be the person down the street. Our neighbor could be someone in our community. But I want you to think about your community and your neighbors. How can you show love in your community? There's lots of things you can do. Last year, when school shut down, we went out into my neighborhood and we picked up trash. That could be one thing that you could do. You can pick up trash. Maybe you want to donate clothes. Maybe you want to do something as simple as feed the birds. What could you do in your community? We talked about DEO and sending messages of hope. What could you do that would make your community, your neighbors, a better place? One thing we've done at my house is we've written letters to our neighbors. When holidays come or something big is happening, we've dropped off cards on their porches. You might know someone who's feeling alone, and you might drop off dinner at their house or cookies on their porch. Miss Abby and I drop off Sunday school bags on your porch. That's a way of showing our neighbors that we care about them. What could you do to let your neighbors know that you care about them? It could be something as simple as pulling their trash can up their driveway. Think about Omaha, big, huge trash cans. If you have a neighbor who's older, that's a lot. You could walk across the street and pull their trash can up. Winter weather, you could shovel, you could rake, you could help them in their yard. There's lots of ways that you can help your neighbor and be good and kind and loving that are safe in the times that we're having now. Think of ways that you can help and show your neighbors love. If you want to think of just one and really go for it, you can. If you want to make a list of ideas and try them out, you can. When you're done, I want you to close this up. I want you to put this someplace where you can see it. In the next season of our church year, it's going to be Easter. And Easter is a really joyful time. We're going to move through Holy Week, which has a lot of serious and heavy-duty stuff that we need to think about. And then Easter comes. and Jesus rises from the tomb. And everything seems possible at that point. We talk about miracles and we talk about resurrection, and we really think about how magical the world can be at that time. I want you to stick with this. Over the Easter season, I want you to keep coming back to this and thinking, okay, this week, I want to take care of my mind. I want to show my self-love. Or this week, you know what? I really want to focus on my spirit and showing love through prayer. Maybe it's going to be some weather. I think maybe I could really do something to show my community or my neighbors that I love them. Over the Easter season, I want you to keep coming back to this. I want you to come back to this so much it's falling apart. And I want you to use this to help you live your life and show love to yourself, show love to the people closest to you, and then to push that love out into the community and to your neighbors.